Hello everyone, and welcome to today's 30-minute webinar on how to become a competitive REO agent. My name is Mia Simo, and I'm the Agent Relationship Manager at Equator, and I will be your host today. Our presenter is George Roletter, who is our Vice President at Equator and is looking forward to presenting this information to you. Behind the scenes, we have Nick Brito. You may recall his name from the emails you received from him. He's going to help us answer your questions. A few things I want to point out before we start. All attendees are on listen-only mode, but if you have questions, we encourage you to type your questions in the question box on your screen. During the last 10 minutes, we will address any common questions so that everyone can benefit from the answer. If we run out of time to address your question, we will directly answer it via email by the end of today. A common question that we get asked is, will we be emailing this video to the attendees? And yes, we will. Everyone on the call today will receive the link to this video. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to George.
Hi everybody, good morning. Hope everybody's day is going well so far. Thank you for your time today. I know we're all extremely busy and we really appreciate your attention today. We're going to reward you. If you stay through the whole webinar today, you'll have a really nice deep discount at the end for some of Equator's products. So it's definitely worth your while to stay with us over the course of the next 25 minutes as we share with you some of the strategies that can make you a competitive REO agent. This is a very, very broad topic. We had a lot of trouble trying to pare this down to some really valuable and actionable things that you can do. I apologize if some of these are things you already do, and hopefully we'll add some value to those. But otherwise, we hope that you gain some new knowledge to help you be a competitive REO agent. We're going to talk about your value proposition and your marketing strategy. We're going to provide you some insights on some of the best tools for REO, and we're also going to talk about owning and mastering your local REO market. And that's a discussion about knowledge. So first, let's jump right into the value proposition. We call this a unique value statement. This is very important for any business, small or large, and it takes some considerable thought. It's not always easy to do. Generally, people say, well, I'm a good agent because I'm on time, and I'm positive, and I do this, that, and the other. And if you really stop and think about it, and ask yourself the hard question, is that unique? You know, being a real estate agent, as most of you know, is incredibly competitive. Not unlike a lot of other businesses, some would say it's even more competitive. So it's important to create a clear statement of your uniqueness in your local market and ask yourself hard questions. How am I different? And how do you do that? Well, it really takes a lot of soul searching, but it also takes some market strategy, analyzing your local market and competition. Do some Google searches in your local area. Take a look at some of the advertisements either on digital platforms like Google or social networks. See what other agents are saying about themselves in their profile descriptions and other areas where they make a statement about their unique capabilities. Maybe document some of those and then create yours so that it's different from those, and put yourself into the shoes of an asset manager or consumer potential client and ask yourself, do I stand out? Would I choose myself as a real estate agent? Another thing you want to do is find your marketing channels and choose wisely. You know, and I like to pick on the shopping cart advertisement when you go to the grocery store. You know, I'll go get my shopping cart and I'm pushing it along and the real estate agent picture is in front of me. That's a great opportunity to reach me at that one cart, but it doesn't really scale and it doesn't provide you a large enough audience. So I like to pick on that one because a lot of agents still use it and see it as a potentially viable channel. But there's a lot of other channels that may work better for you. Local search advertising, social media advertising, advertising on platforms like Equator or other networks can be very, very helpful for you. So it's important to choose wisely. Once you have that consistent message, or that message, Use it consistently. Advertising is about repetitiveness and reinforcing your unique statement over and over and over again. Take a look at your website. If you don't have one, build yourself a website and optimize it for local marketing, local searches that are being done in your area. Now, this is a whole nother webinar that we can get into, and we're just planning our webinars for 2017. So we'll definitely be getting deeper into this subject over the next year. But you want a website that's targeted at your local market. So the content that you have is targeted to your local market, and it again reinforces your unique value and statement. Be social, have a social marketing presence, and do a lot of personal networking. You know, not unlike general real estate, to be a great REO agent, to be competitive, you have to do some networking offline, and you also have to do some networking online, like on LinkedIn.
The next slide we're going to talk about is the tools that you need to be a competitive REO agent. Now, networking is your friend. As it is in regular real estate, you do have to have a sphere of influence. So we recommend that attending conferences really is your best way to get out there in front of asset managers and servicers. We've got up on the screen just 3, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is something that you probably know about if you've been in REO. If you don't know about it, then you should check into some of these. The first one is Include, which is a theme of a conference put on by the 5-Star Institute. And that is a conference that a lot of servicers attend as well as asset managers. It's networking, but it also provides a lot of education. So that one is highly recommended. REO Mac is another networking opportunity. Now that's probably one of the longest holding organization for asset managers. It started years ago, and I was once on the board, so I can really vouch for this one. You learn a lot. Networking is really a great thing for this organization, and if you can attend their conference, that would be really helpful. Another one that I have on here, which I don't know the dates for, is the National REO Brokers Association, NRBA. They put on a great conference in terms of education and networking. There's also cultural and local organizations that you should look into as well that focus on empowering the real estate professionals who serve cultural clients. And some examples of that would be NAREP, which is National Association of Hispanic Real Estate, or AREA, Asian Real Estate Association of America, NAREB, National Association of Real Estate Brokers, WINS, Women in Default Services, and NAREP, National Association of Women in Real Estate Businesses. Now that's just to name a few. So if you're interested, I encourage you to look at their websites, Google REO networking conferences and also organizations. The second tool that we recommend is memberships. Now, many of these that I just mentioned also have memberships for agents and real estate professionals to help them grow their business and advance their careers. Many of these I've listed, but this, like I said, is just the tip of the iceberg. US REO Partners, the 5-Star Force, NRBA, REO Broker, REO Mac, REO Network, and WINS. So these organizations have representatives there that help you get business, help you get into the servicers, into the asset managers world. They also educate you. There's many things that they offer, and each one of these offers something very unique to each other. So it's a good idea to check out the industry organizations. Another tool that we recommend is getting more information and more data. A lot of these successful agents join or subscribe to CoreLogic, Property Radar, which is formerly Foreclosure Radar. And those websites provide financial and property and consumer information. They collect historical trends in real estate. Property Radar, though, is not nationwide. So if you're looking for nationwide data, do a little more digging and check into other data resources. Another resource for data, of course, is Equator. You may not know this, but we do provide a lot of transparency into the data that Equator has. We've been around for 10 years, and we've collected a lot of data. So we're providing that, we're sharing that, providing transparency to our members through Agent Elite Market Insights and REO Alerts. Just to list a few of the top REO technology platforms, and I'm only listed two because Equator is one of them and ResNet is the other. Now, many clients are on Equator. We have 4 of the top 5 U.S. servicers and the largest holder of real estate on our platform. ResNet also has a good number of servicers on their platform as well. The clients that we don't have, they have. So that's why I put it on here, because I feel it's important that if you're going to be a well-rounded REO agent, you really need to look at both of these technology platforms, because that's where the servicers are looking for the asset managers are looking for agents, and this is where they manage their defaulted properties on these platforms.
Thank you, Mia. Now I'm going to jump right into Equator's products. At the beginning, I didn't talk about our mission, and I always bring up our mission in our webinars. And this year, if you've been with Equator or watched Equator through the year, we've really made a lot of progress delivering to that mission. And that mission is to create products and services to help agents' businesses grow. You can see some of the products or tools on Equator that we have listed there. And I'm going to go into each one of these, and these are all advancements that have happened this year, and this will not stop. You will continue to see more value on our platform through 2017, once again, because of our commitment to the mission, which is to help agent businesses grow. First, we're going to talk about getting noticed on the Equator platform. The first tool you have is your profile portrait and your capability statement. Back to what I said earlier about that unique value statement, important to figure out what that is for you and figure out what's going to be the unique value that competes in your local market. Your profile photo on Equator should be a bright portrait photo of yourself. You'd be surprised, no offense to anybody on the webinar, but I see pictures of families sometimes, or a picture of somebody with their pet from far away. You know, this is a professional platform. Equator has 4 of the top 5 servicers. These are the biggest banks in the country on our platform. They want to work with professionals. A bright portrait photo that pops in agent search and gets noticed is going to be the most competitive for you on Equator. Your description or capability statement, again, a unique statement. Please don't use this one as the example. You are the only one that knows what's going to be unique to you and what you provide asset managers. But that statement should go in the description profile for your overall profile on Equator. The next tool we have on Equator is called Equator Certification. It's training and certification on our platform, REO and short sale. We're going to be upgrading this training in 2017 dramatically. It's still a solid training and certification program today, and it also really helps you. Not only does it give you a badge that helps you get noticed and stand out in agent search, but it trains you on the Equator platform. And that gives asset managers confidence that you're going to provide high efficiency and perform well for them on the platform. The next tool we have is called Premium Placement. You probably see a lot of this on the platform if you've logged in, or you get some of our advertisements or emails from Nick Brito. It's search advertising, and it's sold by zip code, so it's very, very local, very targeted, and it's priced by value. And by value, we mean 2 things: number of units and overall value of the real estate sold. There aren't REOs in every single zip code in the United States, but there are REOs in at least half, and some are extremely active even to this day. It's important to use advertising on Equator or Google or Facebook to ensure that you get noticed and your unique value statement is being reinforced over and over again. So how does Premium Placement help you on Equator? Well, it provides you a higher ranking in agent search. How does this work? Well, asset managers when they have a unit, an asset, a home, an REO to sell, they need an agent. They use our agent search to find an agent and select that agent. I'm sure a lot of you use Google and you search every single day. I'd ask each one of you, do you click on any of the links at the bottom of the first page or the second page or third page? No. We're all very efficient humans. I'm not going to say lazy, but we all like to look at the first few, first 5, and click on those. That's not unlike our agent search and our asset managers. They're using the same behaviors. They're noticing the agents that are on top. So for those particular zip codes that you want to compete more aggressively in, premium placement is a great tool for you. Another great tool that we have on Equator is called REO Alerts. So these are real-time notifications when a unit, an REO asset, is uploaded to Equator by a service or asset manager. That means that that asset is going to be listed and sold. Now, the asset manager hasn't chosen an agent yet, so this is your opportunity to not only get the knowledge of that activity in your local market, but also respond with your interest, or maybe your non-interest if you're going to be on vacation, or you have enough properties right now and you don't want to take on another. If you're interested, it allows you to communicate a unique message for that unique property. So this is even more specific than your overall unique value statement, and submit that. It will be included in agent search results for that specific property. Now, that all may sound confusing. I'm going to take you through that in a minute, so hang on. Remember, if we get to the end and you hang with us, we have a really good deep discount for you, so thanks for your attention. Another tool that we have on Equator is called REO Market Insights. This is REO activity and insights on the Equator platform. Important to know, there is no other company that will provide this information to you. We mentioned some of the companies earlier. This is the most transparent we can be to help you understand your local market. The feedback on this product has been overwhelmingly positive because it's information that agents just did not know before. It basically provides a trending insight on a monthly basis on Equator's REO market dynamics. Again, this is the deepest transparency you'll get from any company on REO activity, what's happening to the properties, inflow, outflow. I'll take you through what that looks like. You're going to be an informed and intelligent agent. Now, it's important to note, Equator owns well over 30% of the market and 4 of the top 5 servicers. In 2015 alone, $21 billion in assets were sold on Equator. That's a lot of commissions for agents. It's important to be competitive. There's money worth fighting for there. All right, so let's jump in and look at some of these products quickly. We're 20 minutes into the webinar. We've got 10 minutes left. Here is the overview screen for an Agent Elite member. And you can see you have an opportunity to see your messages and tasks. You have an opportunity to review your portrait photo and your capability statement, announcements on the system, alerts for REOs, tasks, and offers, and also direct access to some knowledge products and tools we talked about. How many premium placements do you own? How many impressions are you getting from asset managers that are searching for properties? Going back to that repetition and making sure that your unique message is being shown to the asset manager. Let's take a look at REO Alerts and jump deeper into that product. When you click on REO Alerts, it lists the alerts that are available at this time. Right now, there are no alerts available, but when they do become available, they would appear here. To get alerts, you need to turn on REO Alert zip codes. So let's click on Managing Alert Zip Codes, and let's add some zip codes. Now, your county that your office address is in, all of the zip codes in that county will automatically be turned on for you as a convenience feature when you join Agent Elite. But if you want to come in here and you want to increase your coverage, you can do that. You can choose more zip codes at any time, up to 250 zip codes. You can turn them off and on, looking at the elite status. And again, turning on REO Alert zip codes is free. One question we get asked is, what's the difference between alerts and premium placement? Well, alerts, again, are giving you a notification of a new asset in your local area for the zip codes that you've signed up to get notified on, that asset is going to be assigned a listing agent. So you can respond with your interest and your unique note. REO Alerts lets you see more REO opportunities. You have even more transparency than the insights we looked at. Premium placement provides you more opportunities to be seen. So when asset managers are looking for agents, because you move up in that search ranking, you'll be seen more. REO Alerts lets you see deeper into the market in that activity. Now let's add a zip code, taking a look at the easy-to-use search results. We're going to type in a zip code for Los Angeles. And if you wanted to add specific zip codes for different markets that you wanted notifications on, you easily search for the zip code or search in a county. You can easily turn on the zip code. Again, turning on and off zip codes is free. You can turn on up to 250 zip codes and get that notification. And a lot of agents have provided us feedback that knowledge about these zip codes and the activity in these zip codes helps them determine which premium placements to go compete in and buy. Okay? And that's how those two products work together. Once you add your zip code, you save it. And now we can see we've added one zip code to our list. We can go back and view all of our zips again. And you can see that now we've gone up from 132 to 133. And we've turned on Los Angeles. So the next time an REO asset is uploaded in 90045, you will get a notification. It's important to know that how many REO alerts depends on the volume in that zip code. When you do get a notification, you get an email. And it says, hey, there is a new REO asset that will have an agent assigned soon. Click here to express your interest. When you click the link in the email, you go to the alert response detail page for that specific property. Here is a tip. If you're interested in the property, obviously click interested or non-interested. Non-interested, of course, if you have enough business or you're going on vacation or for some reason you can't take this property if the asset manager assigned it to you. And for the note, only include a note if you have specific value to share with the asset manager specific to that property. So let's take a look at a few examples of these. Example 1. I'll let you read it. Pick me, I'm interested. There's nothing really unique about this. Every agent would say that. We don't recommend a response like that. If you don't have something specific to say, it's best just to say you're interested and submit it. Here's example 2. Better, except it's a bit more general about your unique capabilities, and it's not specific to the asset. Our final example is a prime example of how you want to write your note when you do have specific value for that property. Specific value could be, I live in the neighborhood. I sold a property recently here, and there were other buyers interested who didn't get the property. So I have buyers ready for this property because it's so close and it's so similar to the other one I just sold. That's extremely helpful. This information is visible to the asset manager in the search for that specific property. So it's important, again, to be specific about your value to compete for that specific asset. But if you don't have anything specific to say, I suggest don't leave a note. Just say you're interested if you are and submit it. When you do submit with your interest, and if you do provide a note, you will see your response on the home screen for REO Alerts. You can change it at any time if you want before the property is assigned. When that property is assigned, then that REO Alert will become unavailable and it will move to the unavailable tab where you can see a record of all the past REO alerts that you have. Okay, we're going to go back to the overview screen. We've just got a few more minutes here. We're going to take a quick look at REO Market Insights. REO Market Insights, again, is data and analysis on local counties. All of the agents on Equator get REO Market Insights at the national level. But if you have Agent Elite, when the new data and insights are provided to the platform each month, and you can see past months in the top right column there, you'll be able to dive in and get activity, performance, and property analytics. What happened to these properties? Did they get repaired or eviction, or was there an eviction? What was the performance overall in that particular geographic area for Equator's REO properties? It's really, really powerful market data that provides you knowledge and intelligence. As you roll over every state, you can see the active inventory of each state. Now we're going to dive into California. This is an Agent Elite benefit, and you can see all the counties in California with their current active REO inventory. If we scroll down, we're able to see an updated activity, performance, and property insights for California. So very consistent format, easy to read. As you roll over each of the counties, you can see that active inventory. As an Agent Elite member, you can click right into a county and you can get information just for that county. So this is excellent if you're focusing on a few specific local counties and you want to understand what REO activity there is on Equator in those counties. So it's a really great, again, knowledge and intelligence benefit. It's also good for general real estate. If you have consumer clients that you're representing to find homes, it's important to know what the default activity is in those local counties. All right, back to our overview screen. You can see REO alerts will be here when the notifications occur, and insights are available as well on the overview screen. We're very respectful of your time. It's 11:29. We got through it all. Again, a wealth of knowledge. A reminder to please ask your questions in the question box and send them, and we'll answer them now. We are going to stay later to answer all the questions that come through. So if you have some more time and you're interested in listening to questions being answered or asking questions yourself, we'll stay here as long as it takes to answer your questions.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. So yes, as George mentioned, we did get a lot of really great questions that I think everybody can benefit from the answers. So the first one we got is from Victor, and Victor says, I just got Agent Elite and I love the REO alerts. I also like seeing my profile views increase and the other website updates you have done. I'm responding to all alerts as quickly as I can, but I haven't received a listing yet. When can I expect to see my first listing?
Well, that's a great question, and there's really two questions inside this question. And I'm answering quickly. So let's address time. It's not beneficial to you to answer before another agent. It's only beneficial to you to answer before the property is assigned. So the time factor only comes in relative to have you responded prior to the asset manager using our agent search for that property and seeing interest or no interest responses and notes. So don't feel obligated to hurry as fast as you can. Obviously, you don't want to wait a day or two. On average, our properties are assigned agents within 2 to 3 days. So my recommendation would be answer within 24 hours, and you should be fine. The second question was, I haven't received any listings yet, but I'm responding. So 2 parts here. You're getting that intelligence on activity on Equator in real time. You're responding, which is very, very good. So your response is being seen in search. If you have premium placement, I can guarantee it's being seen because you're going to be at the top of the search results with your higher rank. You're getting those impressions. Now, this doesn't guarantee that you're going to get a listing. Not unlike general real estate and any marketing, this takes time. And although there isn't a guarantee that you'll get a listing, we're just going to be transparent about that. And then there isn't a guarantee when you'll get your first listing. What we can tell you is that some agents have gotten their first listing within 2 weeks. Other agents, it has taken up to 9 months or a year to get their first listing. And that first listing becomes your opportunity to create a relationship with that asset manager and do more business. So it's really not just your first listing, but it's a door opening to that asset manager. So, you know, we're trying to build value beyond just getting listings, but we know that listings are how you get paid and they're important. So we're doing two things. We want to make you a more intelligent and competitive agent, and we do want you to get listings in time.
Okay, then we have a question from Travis. Is the certification guaranteeing becoming an REO agent?
Okay, so that's a great question. So Equator Certification certifies you on Equator's platform. It's training on our workflow and platform, and it's also training on REO and short sale. So it lets the asset manager know with the badge that now appears on your search profile that you have been trained and you understand the workflow and you'll be efficient for them. You'll be on time. You'll get your tasks done. And you understand REO and short sale. Does it make you an REO certified agent? No. It's an Equator certification for our platform. To be an REO agent, frankly, you just have to say, I want to be an REO and get your first listing. There is no certification or REO license that you need to take an REO property.
Great. Thank you for that. Another good one is, are there different levels of EQ certification, bronze, silver, gold, or just one level? And that sounds like you've been on Equator for a very long time. So yes, no, there isn't. Let me answer that one. So we've combined all of the levels into one level now. It's all just Equator certification. Grouped all of the benefits of the platinum into all the levels, the one level. So we just have one level. The next question, I'm just going to run through this really quick,
Please.
George, because Christine wants to know, for the sold properties, will it show our entire history, the entire time we have been on Equator since 2009? Yes, Christine, you've been on for a really long time. So, yes, you will see your history. You will go to the My Properties, you search My Properties, and go under Sold. You'll see the sold history. If you have any questions on that, we'll provide phone numbers for you to call our technical support. Also, she would like to know, can you link other social media platforms like Instagram to the Equator profile?
That is a great question, Christine, and it is something that we're working on in 2017. I don't want to be incredibly specific and let the cat out of the bag, but agents have been telling us through the year that they would like to enhance their profiles with market activity or sales that they've done outside of Equator and put that information and performance metrics on Equator. Also put their marketing, more of their marketing strategy, whether that be social and other channels they're using, on Equator. All of this is for the agent's benefit in promoting themselves to the asset manager. We are working on those, and you will see some of those launch in 2017.
Another great question from Francine. Does the asset manager send the REO alert, or does the Equator system send that?
That's also a great question. The asset manager's job is to upload the property onto Equator, assign an agent, and work the property until it's sold with that agent or other vendors on our network. Equator sends the REO alert, not the asset manager. So once the asset manager uploads that property to Equator, and one of the first tasks is to assign that listing agent, again, within 2 to 3 days on average, the Equator system immediately sends a notification to all agents who have turned on that zip code for that where that property resides. They will receive that notification immediately. That property is in an available status until the agent is assigned, and then it goes into an unavailable status.
Thank you. Okay, does the REO alert work only if you buy zip codes? So I think we
Oh,
need
that's
to talk
a really
about,
great question,
right, the
too.
difference between premium
Excellent
placement.
question.
Yeah.
So if you're an Agent Elite member, and just a reminder again, Agent Elite is a product that is not mandatory on Equator, but is a product we sell to make you a more knowledgeable, intelligent, and competitive agent. And again, at the end of our questions here, we're going to provide you a deep discount. Agent Elite provides you access to the tool REO Alerts. You can sign up for free up to 250 zip codes to be alerted on. Now, you're not competing in agent search for those zip codes unless you buy premium placement. So very simply, the REO Alert zip code turned on provides you notification of assets that are uploaded to Equator in those zip codes, and you can respond. Premium placement moves your search profile result higher in the rank, making you more noticeable by the servicers when they use the agent search. So as I was saying earlier, some agents are using REO Market Insights, another Agent Elite product, to understand the activity in their local markets. They're using REO Alerts to get real-time notifications of properties and volume and activity. And then they're hand-picking strategically, sometimes with consultation with our telesales group, and they can spend an hour with you if you'd like, creating this strategy, that they pick certain zip codes that either they've uncovered as highly active using insights and alerts, or they just want to be more competitive in. Because a lot of agents, their activity is spread out among the zip codes in their county. And they say, hey, I have a lot over here, but I want more over here. So let's advertise in that premium placement zip code and move up in the ranking. If you have REO Alerts, you'll still get notifications whether you have premium placement or not. Again, REO Alerts is notification and response. Premium placement is advertising, moving you up in the rank. I hope that's clear.
Sounds good. Okay. Yes. Now this one's a good one. And I don't think it just pertains to Southern California. But David wants to know, my understanding is that banks in Southern California are not looking for new REO agents. They use their existing network that they've had in place for years. Okay, I'll take that one. So actually, I think that that's not uncommon in some areas where they're oversaturated with agents and do not have the REO volume. So in talking to some of our outsourcers and some of our servicers, that can be true, but they also told me that they set a capacity for each agent. When an agent reaches that capacity level that the bank is the servicers are comfortable with, they will go outside and look for new agents that they can consider a preferred agent. So that's one way to look at that. And then also, you have to understand that in the servicing shops, things change a lot and they move around territories. And because you're working with one asset manager and they happen to get another territory, you're going to get a new asset manager, and that asset manager may be looking for a new agent that they have a better or different relationship with. So I wouldn't get discouraged that they're not adding to their existing network, because they're going to eventually add to it when the volume picks up. I hope that answered your question, David. Okay.
The only thing I'll add
Go
to
ahead.
that, Mia, is that, you know, change is inevitable. And I love absolutes, especially when it comes to marketing. Well, we hear absolutes all the time. Well, everybody already has an agent. Why would I become a new agent? But things are changing all the time. Asset managers are changing. Real estate agents are retiring. New agents are needed. Some, activity happens in fits and starts in some specific zip codes. Other zip codes, it's constant high activity. And when those fits and starts occur, are there enough agents to handle all the inventory? Do they need to pick up a new agent? So if you're interested in REO, I'm not going to lie to you and say it's not competitive. It is competitive. But it doesn't. You're never going to get anything if you don't try and you don't become knowledgeable and intelligent and you don't compete.
Okay, great. I think this is a good one that I've seen some trends along the same line. I'm just starting out. I have done one short sale. What is the best thing for me to sign up for? I'm just coming out of 30 years in the construction industry. Does that help me here?
Well, very great question, because it does a couple things. And one, congratulations on entering the real estate business. That's great. We definitely wish you well. I would recommend that you have a consultation session with one of our agents who can help you and explain in deep detail your local market and how Equator can help you. But you definitely want to be Agent Elite. And we're going to give you a deep discount here in a few minutes, but that's going to give you knowledge of Equator and your local market on Equator. You definitely want to advertise in some specific zip codes and move you up in the rank and get noticed by asset managers. You also want to use the tools that we mentioned earlier in the webinar. And again, you'll get this video, so I would use some of those tools, join some of those associations, go to those conferences and network. Not unlike any new business, you've got to do some of this groundwork to make it worthwhile for yourself. The second part that I wanted to address was, what was it?
I'm looking. I just started.
Oh, construction.
Yes.
Yeah, so you kind of went down the road of a unique value proposition, which is great. A lot of REO properties need to be repaired and preserved. You're going to have experience that is different than a lot of real estate agents. And you're halfway to your unique value statement that's going to help you not only on Equator, but in your local market in general. It's a great question. Thank you.
Okay. Cynthia wants to know, will you be notified if your interest but not chosen?
Okay, you will not be notified if you're not chosen. Obviously, if you're chosen, you'll be notified. You'll get an email that says you've been chosen. If you're not chosen, then the property goes into the status of unavailable, and it moves to that tab called unavailable in REO Alerts. But you won't be notified of that. We suggest just logging in and checking the status if you haven't got an email that says you've been chosen.
Okay. And here's a good one, and I think this one deserves to be mentioned. Just for clarification on alerts, so it is appropriate to respond to all alerts of your availability of that asset in your area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and to add to that, I was actually talking to some servicers that said they really like it when agents tell them up front that that property's too far, or I'm going on vacation, I can't service it. So if you're not interested, they like to see the reason why, because this helps them in other decisions. So I would suggest that if you're not interested, let them know why.
Yeah, and answer every REO alert with your interest if you are interested. And then again, a reminder, use the note function when you have specific capabilities for that specific asset or neighborhood. If you don't waste your time putting in general capability statements or something that is already in your profile description or your profile capability statement.
Yes, and along that line, asset managers are expecting this. They all know the enhancement that we've made. They've all had the demos. Many of them are using them, and it's providing a lot of value to them. Okay, the next question from Adele is, what percentage of servicers that use the Equator platform assign listings via searching Equator for a new agent?
Well, that's a great question. Although I don't have the specific metric, I can't tell you what each asset manager does. It's an interesting question, but I can tell you this: every asset manager uses agent search to select an agent. Period. They can't go around that process. Now, some may search for agents by name. It's like any search engine. You can query the search or the agent network, however you wish. But when asset managers do not have an agent in mind or that they've worked with in a specific area for a property, they're going to come to Equator first because Equator is the workflow for that asset. Now, they may use other tools. They may go to Google and look at an agent and try to find an agent's website. If they find that agent on Equator, again, I can't specifically tell you exactly what they do, but I can tell you that they have to use the search to select and find and select an agent. So that process will not be bypassed.
Okay, here's another couple good questions from Francine, and I think I touched on something when I mentioned agent capacity. So what I meant by that is each servicer in our system will allow each agent a certain number of properties that they can handle. Each servicer has different guidelines. So just because you get 10 from one client doesn't mean you're at your capacity. The next client may have a 20 as your capacity for them. So I just wanted to be clear that each servicer sets it up individually. Okay. Can I reach out to an asset manager to try to develop a relationship? That's a great question, Abraham. Okay. Now, this isn't like it was in the old days where asset managers would attend conferences and agents would just flock to them and throw business cards at them. So those days are gone. So you have to be a little bit more strategic on how you can approach them and develop relationships. Now in the world of technology, there's all kinds of ways that you can find asset managers. Google the banks and the servicers, the asset management companies, the hedge funds, whoever you want to work with, Google them, find out who the asset managers are. LinkedIn is a very good source because you can find a lot of information on asset management, and message them or connect with them. Establish something along those lines. I also recommend, highly recommend, a lot of the servicing organizations, conferences, they go to those as well. So think about, you have to put on your hat as to how would you farm a traditional listing. You door knock, you talk to people, you have a sphere of influence. It's basically the same thing. You have to just be a little bit more creative when you're dealing with somebody that you can't physically meet, like knocking on their door. You can do electronic emails. You got to just get creative and think outside the box. Okay, here's a good one from Renee. I am licensed in multiple states. Can I have one profile for all states, or do I need one per state? That's a really good question. It's coming up a lot.
Great question.
Yes.
You can, if you are a broker and you are accountable for all the states' performance, then your one profile can be applicable to all those states as a representation of you and what you do. On Equator, there's specific ways that we can do that. And if you're interested in that, please contact us and we can help work with you individually on that.
Good. Okay, one more question and then we'll get to the end of this. Can different asset managers with different companies see all the properties that you have with all the companies or just their company? That's a really good question. They can see both. So they can see how many properties you have in their particular workstation, and then they also can see what you have in total. They cannot see which companies, which servicers you work with, but just the total number of properties that you have. So the last question is, how much does this service cost? So I think this is a good segue into the discount that we're providing.
Sure. Great questions. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for your patience, too. So now, drum roll, here is the offer. We are so grateful that you were able to join us today and your patience. We're offering a 40% discount off of Agent Elite. That's just $239 for the entire year for all the products that we talked about and the tools that you saw. It's less than $20 a month. It's definitely worth an investment. And in December, you know, a lot of the agents' activities, they've told us, is quite low, so they're working on their marketing strategy. Hopefully this is something that you'll embark upon today with a special offer. And now on top of that, for premium placements that you may be interested, and again, those are going to move your search profile up in the rank and get you more impressions with the asset managers, we're offering 40% off, and that's a monthly product. It's priced by the value of each zip code, 40% off for 6 months. So these are really, really great offers for you to hopefully to help you participate in the Equator platform and some of the new tools that we've developed to make you a competitive agent and grow your business. You can see the coupon code at the bottom. If you log into your account, go to the product page, you can enter this coupon code to get your 40% off Agent Elite or 40% off premium placement for 6 months. This will only be available for a limited time, so please take advantage of this today if you've seen some value in our products. Finally, what more can we do to help you? If you need product information, promotional or want to talk more about our tools and how they can help you, please call one of our product specialists at the number on the screen. If you need technical support, maybe you've forgot your password or your account needs some assistance, you can contact customer support at our number there. We also have social media profiles on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and Twitter.
Yes, I'm seeing some agents saying that they cannot see the screen and they would like to see the coupon code back up. So perhaps we should read off the screen, the codes, for agents that can't see it.
All right, so to get 40% off Agent Elite today, the coupon code is 2016, capital X, MAS 40. 40% off Agent Elite. 2016, capital X, MAS 40. To get 40% off premium placement for 6 months for as many premium placements as you buy. The code is capital P, 2016, capital X, MAS 40. Again, 40% off premium placements for 6 months. That's capital P, 2016, capital X, MAS 40.
All right, I think that is it. I do not see any more questions. So thank you, everyone, for staying a little bit longer on the call. We did have quite a few people that were interested in the questions. So look forward to our next webinar, and if you have any suggestions on what you'd like us to present on, please let us know.
Thank you very much for your time today and spending some of your morning with Equator learning about our tools. Hopefully we shared some good insights with you for Equator tools and tools outside. We wish you a great holiday season, and we look forward to a very successful and competitive 2017. Have a great day.